I'm trying to progressively go through some of the worst ones until we get to the big bad Leroy Brown of hitting the wall. You know what I'm
The
saying?
final boss.
Yeah, okay, the final boss of hitting the wall. You know what I mean? But I gotta talk about this sister, and she, God bless her. You know, this is one of them sisters. There's some people that I just want to like so much, and I just can't because their toxicity don't allow me to. And this is one of those sisters. Like, she's so sweet sometimes, and then sometimes like she just totally off. But listen to this shit. I appreciate and respect the fact that she at least, I didn't put the other part of the interview where she was talking the bullshit, but she told some truth. To get a woman who's post wall and actually tells some remnant of the truth, that's an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? So she told some truth here. Shout out to her for this. Shout out to Claudia Jordan.
Someone had told you about dating like in your 40s and 50s back then.
You know, you think that when you're ready to settle down, that there's always going to be a lot of supply on the shelves. And it's not. Why the hell ain't no one trying to scoop me up to save my life? Am I ugly? Are they better looking than me? Like, why are they getting saved and I'm over here working, taking on extra shifts now because she got Richard Gere that came and scooped her up and now she got an easy life and now I got extra corns on my toes and my back hurts because no one's saving me. So you have a very positive attitude. I would have been a little bitter, like, why the fuck? Why not me? Why not? I don't want to be irresponsible. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of the goddamn cape. Somebody save me. I want to be Julia Roberts on Hollywood Boulevard in cheap shoes when some guy comes and saves me. I have worked hard since I was 14 and I had to pay. I'm sick of it, Erica.
I do understand.
It's a thankless
I understand
job
what you're
being
saying.
classy and independent. It's thankless. I've been dating since the 1900s and 80 something, and I'm still single. I'm sick of being independent. I fucking hate paying for my fucking Range Rover, my other car, my mortgage insurance, my freaking cell phone, computer, Wi-Fi. I am sick of it. I need some guy with bad health to jump on in and interrupt and say, let me take you off your shift. You've been working hard enough. Like at this age, a lot of the good guys are married or taken because they're good guys. And I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine the other day, and I'm like, well, your best bet now is maybe someone that a good man that maybe is coming out of a marriage, getting a divorce. So, you know, I think in our youth, and I would like people to know this when they're younger, we think, oh, there's always going to be an endless supply. I can wait till tomorrow. Don't put off your happiness waiting. You know, if you find that good person, like a lot of times we wait, well, it's not the right time. It's never going to be like the right time. I would say go for it more. I wish I would have told someone told me just go for it. I probably have overlooked a good candidate before, you know, like maybe,
why is that though?
Me thinking the timing thing, maybe prioritizing career. You know, I definitely was always like work. I never thought I had enough cushion built up to like relax and take my foot off the gas and start a family.
That was a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this right here, this one right here is a big one, you know, because Claudia Jordan, on paper, you know, Claudia Jordan's not a bad looking woman. She's an attractive woman. You know, she has a personality. There are some things that are very charismatic about her. She's not as abrasive and as much of a turnoff as some of the other women that we've discussed, but she's still up there in age. And she was humbled when she found out. She said straight up, she found out the hard way, all them options ain't always going to be available. Again, I'm going to say this again because I know there's a lot of women out. I've had arguments with women that I know. Don't be telling these young girls to squander their 20s so they can end up fucked up like you. I didn't say that part, you know, but that was the sentiment, you know, because
what's understood don't need to be said.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Don't tell these young women that, you know, you're leading them astray. And they so-called, you know, they think they know something about relationships and they're going to help other women. And you're setting them up for failure. And I appreciate the fact that she came out and said it because, you know, when you come out and say these things, the women come for you and that's not true, you know, and then they start giving their whole list of reasons. Well, you know, my cousin had met somebody, and then, you know, they got their anecdotal situations where an exception was made. You're not looking at the whole picture. The men are telling you. I love when men articulate a point and the women come and try to tell us what the fuck we think. The men are telling you that we prefer women to be younger. And that doesn't mean that we're predators or we want toddlers, or we want underage women. They like to try to flip it that way too. No, it just means that we prefer younger women. And what you're seeing is a lot of these older women, now that they're no longer the younger women that were preferred when they were dating older men, you understand? Now they want to have an attitude about it because you're no longer the it chick. You understand? And that's just what it is at the end of the day. You know, and listen to the shit she says. I need a man with bad health to come save me. Who talks like that? And if you notice, half of the shit that she said was materialistic. I'm tired of paying for my Range Rover. I'm tired of paying for my other car. I'm tired of paying for my insurance. A lot of these women don't look at men as people. They look at us as tools to handle, you know, things that require payment that have to do with them. And I can tell you flat out, for a lot of men, Claudia Jordan, that's the reason they overlooked your ass. You understand? You're materialistic and shallow. And it's like she wears it on her sleeve. She can't help herself. She can't help it. You know, and, you know, she talked also about how she's overlooked good men. I appreciate that because a lot of women lie about that too. She has overlooked good men to prioritize her career. That is about a good 60% of y'all that can't catch out here. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta sacrifice some things, man. And you gotta reorganize your priorities because y'all are not finding success out here. In a lot of instances, you're not finding success, and there's a reason for that. What y'all say on that? I thought that was a really, really heavy clip.
Yeah, I was, you know, because like I say, me and Bobby, we're hearing everything based live. So people think that we organize behind and we talk about these topics. Major does the topics and we hear it live like you guys. So there's no research behind nothing or nothing like that. So while, you know, y'all was listening to what she was saying, I was researching on her boyfriends. And her list of boyfriends is pretty interesting. So let me grab her list of
toxic as hell too, by the way.
Oh, hold on.
She's toxic as hell too, by the way. Oh my God, she's toxic.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's so much wrong with her, you can't even address it all. Go ahead.
She's a national tragedy.
Yeah, so here's her list of boyfriends. Medina Islam.
Okay.
Which, you know, he's a rapper, actor. Dwight Freeney, which was a football player. I think he was the Indianapolis Colts defensive line. Yeah. Darren Sharper, I think he was he a corner or he was a safety?
He was a safety. He's a safety.
He was safety, right?
For the Saints,
Maurice Green was a track athlete. Simeon Rice, I think Simeon Rice was a defensive end, right? For Tampa Bay, I think back in the day.
Yeah.
Nelly, Genuine, George Pagostia. He was in like a lot of shows and stuff like that, white dude. And then Tigger. She had relationships with Tigger. So her life really was like rappers, entertainers, football players. Wasn't really no real guy of quality like that, you know, in her dating history. So she had a pattern, she had a type. And a lot of times women don't realize like your type will keep you in a place that you don't need to or want to be in. You know, you got to sometimes go outside of your realm of your type. And you also got to do the inner work too, because here, digging into it, I found this very interesting. So we talking about the guy, Medina Islam, right? The rapper / actor. He was in Tyler Perry's Haves and Haves Not, and also I think a show that on the ONE channel with Oprah. And, you know, we just talked about Oprah and Kamala and that whole little shebang. So here it is that he said, okay, because I think she made some allegations about him being abusive or something like that. So he said, hold on now. He pushed back on that. He said, look, 4 years ago, I dated Claudia Jordan. It lasted 6 months. 6 months, y'all. I got socks and drawers older than that. I left her 4 times in 6 months because of her mouth and her messy ways. Wow. On August 28, 2016, I had enough and left for good. She began having a temper tantrum as I left peacefully. She grabbed my phone, ran, and started flopping all over the house. For 4 years, I remained silent out of respect for you. I saved you your last ounce of dignity, but you have proven to be deeply conflicted and desperately seeking a storyline for the blogs. Funny thing is, for someone so top-notch, why are you so obsessed with little old me? I have only known you for 6 months of my life. You have a history of this, and I had enough, so I bounced. This is a joke. You do this to every man that leaves you.
Ooh, what? Yeah, what? Hold up.
Jay-Z.
He ripped the block off her ass. Hold up.
It's more to that.
Hold up.
Hey, it's more. Here goes. You ready? You thought that was heat. Wait till you hear this.
Go for it.
You testified against Mike Tyson to have him locked up for rape back in the day. You sued Prince is right for sexual allegations. You snitched on Jamie Foxx's private relationship with Katie Holmes and Entertainment Tonight. Come to your house so you could publicly apologize. I even tried to help you with your career and filmed a comeback episode for you on Housewives of Atlanta with Cynthia Bailey that never aired because I left you. Why can't you move on with your life? One thing I don't care about is fame, but apparently you do. Could it be? You just left it like that.
I will not lose.
Oh my God.
It's so like Ether. Teach you the king, you know you.
That's why it's important. It's important to know one side and the other side, and then you get the truth. Because see, a lot of times women love to run out here and tell their side of the story. But to be honest, a lot of men psychologically don't want to tell their sides of their story. And a lot of times they run across a lot of villain women that they can expose. And you know what they do? They say, fuck it, I'm a man, I'll take it.
Yeah. That's what we're programmed to do. And that, as quiet as it's kept, that's another way of protecting women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't even appreciate it. They want to get out here and, act like wild hyenas. I didn't want to get into her toxicity because it's so vast. But my God, this woman is toxic. It's clear why she don't have nobody. But she don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And boy, go ahead, Bobby. I could talk about that all night. We got one more person, so we gotta get through this quick. Go ahead, Bobby, real quick.
Woo.
Oh
man, look.
He lit her ass up.
Oh man. Man. Look, the jokes for themselves. I really need us to that's something that I need to become the goal of men, right? So we have entered in this decade, in the 2020s, especially really really the whole decade, to be honest. We've veered into this lane where officially we can say that manhood as we know it is undergoing an evolution. We have a lot of men who have been, and now, to be honest, really the 2010s, not a little before then, but it's just now really starting to get some limelight and some attention and some highlights now. But we've gotten to a point now where we, as a collective, this goes beyond just demographics, beyond race, beyond ethnicity, creed, even location. The men of today are finally saying that we are carving our own entry into the book of manhood. We have the manhood of our forefathers, some of it positive, some of it less than, but a lot of us have just silently, without conversation, without agreement, just being on code, have decided I'm going to try to be better than my father and my grandfather before him, which is beautiful. And we're seeing men stepping up as far as involvement in child rearing. We have men that are changing more diapers. They're feeding children. They're spending more time with their children. They're playing an active role as opposed to just sitting back and just, letting mom do everything. We have men who are actually starting to fight for the children, and they're starting to overcome the child support and child family court system that for the longest has been stacked against us. Men are also starting to go ahead and seek therapy and treatment more to deal with the issues as opposed to just sit back and just shrivel up and die. Men are starting to grow and evolve. One of the ways we need to do that as well, and we need to sever this as being something that is not manly or doesn't propel manhood forward. Yeah. We have got to stop giving women passes. We have got to stop doing it.
Agreed.
That is not, I do believe that has been seen as protection. We want to protect women. We don't want to hurt them. We don't want to expose them to any undue strain or stress or strife. But as I mentioned before, with the coddling from childhood, all we have done, we may have had good intentions for doing it, but the road to hell, you know what it's paved with. This has only served as a continuance of the bullshit souffle that women have been fed from young girls, not allowing them to be properly prepared for the world that they're in.
Yeah.
When we shield women from the side effects of the toxicity, when we have women that go ahead and campaign for getting popped, when we have women that are doing us nasty and foul ways and lying and falsely accusing us of things, but we decide, well, I'm just going to keep quiet. I'm not going to blow her up, whatever. I'm just going to sit back and deal with it. This does not do women any favors. It is no different from dealing with an addict. We know that when you are dealing with drug addiction, alcohol addiction, any addiction, we know that it is critical for these people to hit rock bottom, because if they don't hit rock bottom, if they don't reach a point where they hit utter helplessness, feeling the consequences of their actions, and they don't have any coddling, they don't have any easy out, they have to sit there and cook.
Yeah.
And marinate in the discomfort and really feel that and get to the point where they're like, you know what? This is my last day here. Enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. I've got to get better. When we deny women of that opportunity, all we're doing is allowing for them to become Claudia Jordans.
Yeah.
We're allowing for them to become Tracy Ellis Rosses. We're allowing for them to be Leslie Jones and all these other women. Why? Because the men who are supposed to be leaders, hear me. I will get the women all day long. But when it's time to get the men, I got to act right for everybody.
Yeah.
So let's call ourselves men, leaders. We're about discipline and focus. We're about accountability. We love to put accountability on people. You play a role in that as well, too. When you sit back and you let a woman continue in error, you are now a co-conspirator to the error.
Agreed.
We have to start calling these women out. I'm glad that brother did what he did. I'm glad Jennifer Lopez's ex-husband called her out the way he did.
Yeah.
No longer can men be quiet. Man up, dig deep into your coin purse, pull out your intestinal fortitude, grip it tight, man up, and start letting your voice be heard. I'm not talking about being toxic and being all misogynistic, but speaking truth to power, setting the record straight.
Yeah.
Getting the narrative set properly. That is part of manhood. That is part of leadership. That is part of encouraging and building. We cannot allow these women to keep on skating by in error, poisoning themselves, but also poisoning the world around us. Yeah. We have to be an active participant, again, in the world we want to see. Now, this is not to say that we're to blame, but it's your responsibility. I saw a story from a brother earlier who was part of something else. He talked about when he was a sergeant in the Air Force, I believe. And the men under his charge, they decided to go out one night and get pissy drunk, and they had a car accident. The men were to blame for that. Ain't no one put a bottle in their hand. No one gave them keys. They did that. But because he was their superior, their commanding officer, they held him responsible. Because that is what it means to be a leader. Facts. Leader means I go first. So when they do right, you get the praise. Wow, it's good leadership. When they stink it up, You catch that flack because you had poor leadership. If we are to be the rightful leaders that I know we are and that we're supposed to be, it starts with little things like, you know what, I'm not going to let you skate with that. I'm going to check you on that. Not in hatred, but I'm going to lovingly check you because I care about you too much to see you fail. And on the road you're on, all that's waiting for you is failure.
And that is the difference. Very well said. That is the difference in what we're seeing now. And I've said this before. For the last 40 years, there's been no complaint of any type of gender war or any type of anything. Everything has been very quiet, very peaceful. You know why? Because there was no pushback against this aggression. For the last 40 years or so, female culture has pretty much been attacking the men, ridiculing the men. You understand? And now that some of it is misogyny. I'm not going to front. There's some guys out here who really legitimately do hate women. We don't rock with them. We denounce them. You understand? But a lot of what you're seeing out here, they just, they hate the women. No. A lot of what's being said, and I had a dispute with a sister that I actually used to listen to and talk to quite a bit. I had to let her go and stop following her because she was just posting too much misandrous bullshit. And, I let her know before I'd left, this is from a place of love. You don't understand what's going on. There's a cultural shift right now. The men are like, nah, this ain't it. We're standing our ground. We're no longer going to allow you to just berate us and belittle us and just say, yes, dear, fuck that. No, you're wrong. You're going to have to start learning to behave like adults. You're going to have to start learning to do things like apologize and take accountability and shit like that. And if you're not, you're just going to be on your own, and it's a shame that we have these women here, that have hit the wall. It is verifiable. You know what I'm saying? They've hit the wall and they still haven't learned a damn thing. Manversations 2020.